the choices that you make are for reasons. It might be that a particular author that you really like, might be a theme of books that you really enjoy, and so you go to those, and there is an emotional attachment to books that you read. But you can be reluctant sometimes to share these because other people might have different opinions of those. They might not enjoy the books that you've enjoyed, and you might not feel confident to be able to put that out there because other people might judge you.
It is quite a personal experience. You're putting yourself into a very vulnerable position by sharing your thoughts on a book. You perhaps don't know that other people feel the same about a book that you do, and that can kind of put you in that position where you're unsure as to whether you want to share that with people.
Yeah.
Very personal. A lot of emotions are involved with reading. I've certainly felt that as an adult reader in terms of what I should be reading or what I perceive I should be reading in terms of professional books, when actually what I would really like to do is curl up and read a children's book and just enjoy that whole experience.
We'd shared something in our setting where we displayed Mrs. Atkinson is reading this at the moment, and it's that reluctancy to really put out there what I'm reading at the moment because the other teachers may well ask me about it, and then the children as well, and you've really got to be able to talk about your rationale behind why, and you're putting yourself out there.
As a reader, obviously, I think we all go through stages where it's really difficult to concentrate, particularly, we've all experienced lockdown, and, so any sort of trauma or time that we get, anxious or nervous. When I've been through, recently, I've been grieving for a loss. So those difficult times are particularly hard to concentrate. I think that's reflected in children as well. And children go through so many difficult times, ups and downs in their lives where, there will be times where it's particularly hard for them to concentrate and focus when it's time for reading.
I think that's a really good point. I think there's also everyday experiences and times which are more tricky. I know myself, if I'm on a busy train or in a tube, I find it really difficult to engage deeply in a novel. Mm-hmm. But I can read kind of lower stakes text, I guess, like Twitter or scrolling through my phone. I find that easier.
Absolutely.
I can concentrate and engage in those spaces, but I do find it difficult. It's noisy, there's lots of a busy environment to deeply engage in the text.
And that's still reading, but obviously if you want to try and spend more time trying to get really invested into a book, it's difficult.